Since there's not that much going on in the bluelock manga currently, I decided that I would make a video talking about the best 5 performances that I've seen in the bluelock manga up to this date, and I'll be ranking them based on who has the best performance to who has the worst performance. Anyways, if you guys like this type of content, please remember that like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. So to set the guideline about this video, I first want to talk about how I'm going to be judging these performances. The first thing I want to take into account is the level of opponent they're playing. Now, somebody could score 5 goals against a team in the second selection, and somebody could score maybe a hat trick in the NEL, and I will immediately weigh that performance in the NEL higher, because even though they only scored 3 goals, it's against way higher level comp. Now, secondly, I want to talk about dominance, right? Just how dominant was that player throughout the game? Like, was their presence really that felt? What did they do? How good were they in that game? And the last thing I want to talk about is just their overall effectiveness over the entire game. Now, I get that there's players out there that could have certain, levels of play where, it dips up and down. Like Nagi, for example. He can have performances where he would do something absolutely mind-bogglingly crazy, but then for the rest of the game, he's not as consistently good at that level. I'm looking for performances that could give me that level all throughout the 90 minutes. Right, so with that format set up, let's get started. At number 5, I have Nagi's first selection performance against Isagi's team. Now, as I've already told you guys, that I already weigh into account the level of difficulty that they were playing against. And at this point in the story, Nagi was playing against a very, 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 very easy first selection side. Now, of course, Team Z were on paper the best team in the first selection, even though the tournament standing doesn't say that. They obviously were the most stacked team in that first selection. But I do feel like if Nagi had done this performance in 2 arcs later, then it would be much, much higher on this list, because this performance, guys, let's just run it through. First play of the game, he picks up the ball with an amazing trap while being guarded by 2 defenders and completely scores it easily. Very easy, catch it on your toe, great first touch, and then just finishes it, right? But that's not it. The next play, what does he do? Instead of catching the ball and coming down with it, he flicks the ball up, does a bicycle from damn near outside the box, and scores another goal just like that. And to add insult to injury, he's just so nonchalant while he does it. But that's not even it. Nagi actually ends this game with a hat trick and possibly one of the best goals in bluelock, I think. He ends up going a little bit quiet for a little bit of this game, not super ghosting, his presence is still felt, but he's not as effective as he was before. But after this moment, though, he then hits the flow and is very effective. And honestly, his team would have won this game. He would have beat Plot Armor and beat Isagi in this game if Isagi's team didn't cheat and foul him. That just goes to show you how good he was playing in this game. This is Nagi's best performance, I think, in the entire manga. So yeah, for this to be only number 5, you guys can tell I'm not being biased here. But either way, he then scores that amazing goal. He also gets another chance to chip the ball into the goal while it's going in. They need a goal line clearance just to clear it. And man, he was just playing both sides, He was defending, he was going up, Nagi was in complete flow state in this game, and what a perfect introduction to him as a character. The perfect performance for him overall. Now, moving on to number 4. Coming up next, we have Isagi versus Manshine City. Now, you're probably wondering, why is this one above PXG and above Uber's? He scored a brace in both of those games. I'm not a guy that judges football based on output, and what I mean by that is, I'm not a guy that will just look at goals or the number of assists or goals somebody has and judge their performance wholly off of that. I'm a guy that likes football for football. And in this game, Isagi was everywhere on the field. He covered every single blade of grass on this field, even did his highest feat up to that point, which was stop the world number 2's best shot. He literally stopped it. Secondly, I think he went through the entire field with Corona at least 3 times in this game. He could have scored a damn near a hat trick. And on top of that, to end it all off, he literally outsmarts Kaiser, a new Gen 11 level player, to win the game with Yukimiya on his own terms. Yeah, there's not really that much to be said about this performance. I've glazed this performance as much as it is. Isagi he was just on demon time this whole game. Like, he was playing defense, stopping Nagi and Rio right after. Like, the only blemish he has in this game is getting dunked on by Nagi. And, like, that's normal. Everyone's gotten dunked on by Nagi at least once in this series. So this was the time where Isagi got dunked on. But either way, after that, he completely violates my go. Like, it's right there. He violates my go. So what can you do about that? He redeems himself for that and then goes on to win the game on his own terms. Manshine Isagi was just a completely different, like, level player. Coming in at number 3, we have Rainy Toshi in the U20 game. Now, Rainy Toshi is just notorious for being one of the best players universally. Now, why is this better than Manshine Isagi is probably going to be the question in the comments. The reason why I think this performance is better than Isagi's performance in the Manshine game is because of the fact that I think, yes, although the difficulty is lower, and I think the dominance is very relative between these two. At this point in the story, Rin wasn't just destroyer mode made. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't destroyer mode made, and he actually had a brain. Like, he had a working brain where he was able to actually think as good or maybe better than Isagi in some situations. He scores an absolute Trivela shot on Aiku's head, where up till that point in the story, nobody was taking Aiku on one-on-one and winning. And Rin did it. This guy literally does a Trivela shot from outside the box. If you play football, you know exactly how hard that is to do. And he does it like it's nothing and scores in the U20 game, extending their league from 1 to 2. Now, the next thing, the only blemishes Rin has on this game that kind of makes this game go lower is the fact that he didn't score that shot at the end where he hit the crossbar. And the fact that he got cooked by Itoshi Sai like a couple times in this game. Now, of course, he did get the game-winning stop on Itoshi Sai to win the game altogether. So we have to give him that credit. You know, we have to give him that credit. And I also feel like Rin was crucial in being able to, you know, kind of come back, play defense, read plays, head the ball out of bounds. Like, he was playing both sides of the field really well at a very high rate. And he was always a threat on offense as well. So yeah, I just really think that Rin and Toshi in the U20 game is just a different gravy. Like, he's a different beast altogether. And yeah, if we look at, in terms of dominance, I think his dominance was equal relative to Isagi. In terms of competition, Isagi takes it. But in terms of being involved throughout the 90 minutes, I think it's very close. But I think Rin just edges it out because he did have an amazing goal. And Isagi didn't get a goal in that game. Now, of course, I don't judge football solely off of output. But when their performances are so relative, it just comes down to little minuscule details, and I have to give it to Rin here. Coming into the number 2 spot, we have none other than Shido Ryusei in the U20 game. To this day, I thought this was, you know, before I thought about this, actually, this video, I thought this was the best performance in all of Blue Lock. You know, I was just off the top of my head. But I'm not gonna lie, what Shido does in this game is probably the best display of dominance I've seen in any, like, Blue Lock game I've seen. Like, this is the biggest game of the manga. He didn't play the first half, so he's just coming in, trying to change his game after the U20 are down 2-1. He comes in, scores an absolute banger of a goal. Like, a banger. Like, you guys don't understand how much of a banger this was. He gets to the ball, right? Of course, Itoshi Sai's passing it, so you can't give him all the credit. But he gets to the ball, and while he's getting to the ball, he does like kind of like a sliding volley and just booms it into the back of the net from outside the box while being contested by like Chigiri. Bro, this was an amazing goal by itself. And he does this right when he comes in. Like, you can already sense as soon as Shido comes into this game, he's a threat. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people who like to get on Shido for being like, oh yeah, I've done it before. He had Itoshi Sai passing him to this game. This performance is pretty overrated. Guys, I don't think you guys understand. That goes into Shido as a player. But for this performance, I don't think you guys understand that he's going up against all the best defenders in Blue Lock at this point. Are you? You know what I'm saying? Nico. He's going against all these guys all at once. Rio. And he's the only, like, consistent forward threat for the Japan U20. Other than Itoshi Sai, it's literally only those two carrying the entire offense versus the entirety of Blue Lock U20. And he was so much of a threat that they had to literally man-mark him the entire game by at least 2 people. They had to literally stop him from getting the ball because that's how dangerous he was. Now, of course, a lot of the credit does go to Itoshi Sai, but I think dominance-wise, I haven't even spoken about the biggest thing he's done, and that is the Big Bang Drive bicycle kick, Zlatan Ibrahimovic style from damn near half field. Where do I even go, man? This is like a top 2, top 3 goal in the entire series still. And when we look at the stage that it happened, when we look at the difficulty of that shot, when we look at just the momentum and dominance he displayed before it and after it, like, bro, this performance is just so, it's damn near perfect. I'm not gonna lie. This performance from Shido is damn near perfect. Now, there is something at the end which does put it down a little bit. The fact that Shido did hit flow after this, and I say his performance does slow down a little bit after he hits the flow, because yeah, of course he gets stopped a couple times, but he's always a giant threat in the blue lock side. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone reading the U20 match always looked at this and like, oh my gosh, like, we just can't let Shido touch the ball. Like, that's how much of a threat he was. Like, you can't even let this guy touch the ball or he might score. That's how crazy he was. Now, of course, yeah, at the end, there was a little blemishes because he did kind of ghost at the ending of the game. But I think that just takes his performance down from like a 10 to like a 9, 9.5. Now, the one that everyone's been waiting for, number 1 on this list. It has to be Rin versus Isagi in the second selection rematch. A lot of people might raise their eyebrows at this statement. But I think that to this day, this is probably one of the best games in Blue Lock and one of the the best performance from a single player in Blue Lock. I think dominance-wise, Rin is competing with Baro, Isagi, Nagi, and Shigiri. Basically by himself. Like, of course, yes, Tokimitsu, Ryu were pretty, like, buffed back then. But at the same time, I don't think you guys understand that they were good, but we already see after that part of the story that these guys were only good because they were playing with Rin. Without Rin, Tokimitsu is going to work at McDonald's, bro. He's done. So I really think that these two guys were really being buffed, and even Batra, to a sense, was being buffed, even though Batra was nerfed for like a majority of that game too. So it was literally just Rin versus these 4 players. He was playing so insane that at that point, even beating Rin at a single possession was a big victory. Like, when Isagi scores that back heel kick, it's like an amazing moment because he finally beats Rin just once, just barely, just once. He's able to outsmart Rin. And that's what made Rin so interesting back then that I just don't think he has anymore, because he didn't have no destroyer zone. Rin was basically like an Isagi with immense talent and physical abilities, all the way stacked. And he was smarter than him, or just as smart as him, which made it so interesting with their dynamic and just his playstyle, because you know Rin is going to see the same things Isagi sees. So it was so sick to see these guys play against each other, and it's basically like a game of chess, which I really enjoyed personally. But now, obviously, in the PXG game, it wasn't more like that. It was more of them just going head-to-head. But either way, this performance from Rin was just so crazy. Like, the amount of times that he literally had me and everyone probably reading the game fooled about what he was doing throughout the game. Like that one moment where someone goes in for a slide tackle and they don't even realize that the ball has already been passed to Batra for an open goal. Bro, this guy was on smoke. Like, Nagi literally told him, yo, I'm going to take this matchup, Isagi, let me guard him. And Nagi got cooked the entire match. I won't lie. He got cooked the entire match. He has one moment, of course, where he cooks the shit out of Rin. But after that, Rin completely cooks him. And he scores 4 goals in this game, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Rin had 4 goals or at least a hat trick in this 5 goal. This game's up to 5 goals, and he scored 3 of those 5 goals and assisted, I think, 2 of them. So, like, this guy's a genuine beast, bro. He's a genuine beast, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't think that there's any performance in Blue Lock that matches this level of dominance, right? The dominance where, like, even if you just beat them once, it's like a miracle. Like, you can't beat, that's how good he was, you know? This level of consistency throughout the entire game, being a threat. You know, late game using Tokimitsu, early game just being an unstoppable ISO threat, that passing to his teammates, making the best decision all the time. And even at the end, he scored the game winner by being in the right place and claiming the luck. What can you say? This performance is a genuine masterclass. I can't point any holes in this performance other than the fact that he got beat 2 times. He got beat twice in this game. 2 times, maybe even 3 times with Baro. But that's it. That's it. We're not even going to count about how many times he stopped their plays. It was basically just him versus 4 people the entire time. So, of course, he's going to lose, like, at least twice, right? So, bro, this performance from Rin is just like, bring this Rin back. Just bring this Rin back. Yeah, man, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this video. Do you guys think that I got my list wrong? Do you guys think I got my list right? I would like to hear all your thoughts down below in the comments. If you guys like this type of content, please remember that like and subscribe so I know that you like this type of content. I can make more of this. Leave some video suggestions down below. What other type of lists you would like to see me do, because bluelock's been kind of slow lately in the Nigeria game. There's not much stuff going on in the manga. There's not much stuff to talk about. So I think once the France game comes up, we'll have more stuff to talk about. But as for right now, I hope you guys all have a great day. Please remember that like and subscribe. Bye-bye.